Hi friends, I'm Sunita Prasad. I'm a family life educator. I'm here to share a few thoughts on marriage. We are living in an age where marriages are breaking like never before. From a time, an age when marriage was all about commitment to a time and space now when marriages have become more about convenience, marriage has changed a lot. When I was doing my master's in family life education, as part of my assignment, we were taken to a divorce court. And it was shocking to see the number of cases each day coming for divorce. And some of them were for the silliest, smallest of reasons, people were divorcing. What is happening to marriage? Why are marriages breaking so rapidly? I have just put down a few thoughts why marriages are breaking. Reasons for some of the marriage failures we see. One of the reasons is financial challenges. When one is earning more than the other, or loss of job for one of the spouse, or my money, your money. There are so many reasons, but financial challenge is known to be one of the reasons for marriage failures. Lack of time. In this age and time when people are so busy, lead such hectic lives, the couples are unable to give time to each other. So this has become another reason. Then we see lack of commitment, another reason that marriages are failing. Inadequate preparation for marriage. We are preparing a lot for a wedding. Getting a new dress for ourselves, gown, suit, making all the arrangements, theme for the wedding and everything. But are we preparing for marriage? Many of us are preparing only for wedding and not for marriage. Premarital counseling, premarital seminars are very much essential to know and understand what marriage is all about. How to work in a marriage, how to resolve conflicts in a marriage. So we see that inadequate preparation for marriage is also one of the reasons that marriages are failing. We see infidelity, marital unfaithfulness is one of the reasons. Issues of sex is another reason. Family interference is another reason. Some of the times we see, I've seen when I was in counseling, I've seen that a lot of family interference has affected marriage of a couple. So that has happened. Then we see lifestyle changes. Things have changed a lot now. We lead busy lives. Both of us are working. And then we see that we are hooked to the phone. Most of the time, people are spending time with the phone, doing everything through their phone, even including watching Facebook, and sometimes even addictions to watching porn and other stuff can destroy your marriage. And then we see changing roles. Roles have changed now. And then communication problems, which we'll explain later, unmet expectation, character issues, and it's all about me attitude. This is something I would like to point out. During these days, we see there is a high rise in selfishness. It's all about me, my desires, my thoughts. Do you love me? It's all pointing towards oneself rather than towards the other person. Are you ready to love the other person is not the main reason. Is the other person ready to love me? Other person ready to care for me? Becomes another issue that marriages are failing so rapidly. Most of us want to have a good marriage. We don't enter marriage thinking of divorce. We want to enter marriage thinking of a wonderful life together. But why is that marriages are breaking? We want to have a good marriage, but we don't know how to do it. So here I would like to spend a few minutes talking about keys to a healthy marriage. How can we have a healthy marriage is what I would look at. For this, I would like to mention one word that is so important. The word invest. What is the meaning of invest? Putting into something with the expectation of achieving a profit. We know that we invest in shares, invest our money. We invest into education, hoping to have a good job in the future. We invest in business to earn a good profit. So we invest into something, hoping for a good result. In the same way, marriage needs investment. Marriage is not like an automatic washing machine. You put the clothes, you put everything, switch it on, it goes on and finishes completely. No, we need to work on marriage. Hard work is necessary. Investment into our marriage is necessary in order to have good returns, in order to have a healthy marriage. So I would like to mention 3 important keys to a healthy marriage. The first one, invest time into your marriage. Time is very crucial for a healthy marriage. If marriage is your priority, you need to invest time. As I mentioned earlier, we live such hectic lives. There are many couples who are working through the day. Sometimes they don't even get to see each other through the week. They're so busy. And when they come home, they don't have time for anything else rather than give time to the children and finish all the housework. So they don't have much time. But marriage needs priority. You know, as it's mentioned, if marriage is your priority, you need to invest time into your marriage. How do you do that? I would say consciously take time. In a day, probably half an hour or so. Take time. If you are possible to do it even for more time, it's wonderful, but at least for a half an hour a day. If you can take time to spend time with your spouse, unhindered time, no distraction. One small tip, switch off your mobile phones and spend time with your spouse. Talk about the day. Talk about issues that matter to you. Talk about your feelings, your joys, your disappointments. Just openly share about what you're feeling. This will help build the marriage. If possible, do it when your kids are sleeping or when your kids are playing, so you will be able to give that unhindered time to your spouse. And this really helps and builds marriage relationship. Giving time to one really builds a marriage relationship. That which is your priority demands your time. So time is essential. You will make time for what is important. So I would encourage you, make time. Build on your marriage. If possible, once a week, go out as a couple, go out on a walk, go out on a drive, just go to a restaurant, eat something together, spend some time talking to each other during that time, go to a park, spend some time, do some creative ways you can come up, spending time with, conscious time with each other, which will help to build your marriage. This is one of the healthy tips to build your marriage. Let's look at another tip. Now, the other one is invest prayer into your marriage. Praying together is the most intimate act any couple can do. This is wonderful. You know, praying together is wonderful. There is power in prayer. The Bible clearly says, if two of you agree on anything, it will be done by my Father in heaven. If two or three are gathered together in my name, I am there in their midst, is what the Word of God says. And according to that, when you pray together as a couple, there is power. God is hearing your prayer. God is in your midst. What else do you want? God in the midst of your marriage relationship is a beautiful thing. I encourage couples to pray together. I would like to quote my own example in this. We have been praying as a family. We have a family prayer, and family prayer is very important. But 3 years back, we decided to spend time together praying as a couple. And we saw a big difference in praying together as a couple. We started fasting and praying, and we saw a big difference in our lives. Firstly, it helped us to be transparent with one another. We were able to be transparent about our weaknesses. We started sharing our weaknesses with one another. We started praying over each other about our weaknesses. And it changed us, especially the areas of our heart that needed to be changed, like selfishness, unforgiveness, bitterness. God helped and dealt with our heart and brought about this change. And this led to trust between us. You know, trusting in God and trusting each other as a couple. We were able to trust each other better, and this led to togetherness, and which helped us to have a healthy relationship. So whoever we meet, we always say, pray together as a couple. There is so much of power when a couple prays together. And more than anything, God helped us to love each other more with a sacrificial love. You know, many times we love with a selfish love. But when you draw closer to God, God helps us to love one another with a sacrificial love. And that's what we learned in this time of spending time together in prayer. And I would encourage you, spend time together in prayer. That's a beautiful act that you as a couple can do. Are you having issues? Are you having problems, misunderstandings? Pray together. Pray for one another, pray with one another, pray for each other, but just pray together as a couple. This will bless your marriage. This investment that you do will give great returns in your marriage. And the third one we would see is invest words of life. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21, words kill, words give life. There's either poison or fruit, you choose. So it is up to us to choose. Words kill, words give life. And you know, in your marriage, your words can either kill the marriage or give life to the marriage. What do you want to choose today? Do you want to work on your marriage? Do you want to build on your marriage? Work on words that you speak. Use words that will build up and not tear down. It's very important to use words. Many a times, many of us are so critical in the words that we use. Many of us are sarcastic in the words that we use. We want to pull down the other person by what we are speaking. If your spouse is your priority, if you love your spouse, why would you want to tear him or her down? Instead, show love through your words. Use words that will build up your spouse. That will be a big health to your marriage and a big bonus to your marriage. Speak one another's love language. You know, Gary Chapman wrote this famous book called 5 Love Languages. There are 5 love languages that is mentioned: words of affirmation, gifts, acts of service, quality time, physical touch. These are the 5 love languages that are mentioned. Find out what is your wife's or husband's love language. Speak to them in that love language. They will be blessed. That will be an encouragement to them. That will be like a boost to them when you know what they like and be able to cater to their needs. Speak words of love through the love languages. And then we see, use right words to resolve conflict. Conflict is inevitable. Every marriage is conflict. There's no marriage without conflict. We have not come across any marriage like that. There will be difference of opinions. There will be arguments. That's common. But what you can do is how to use words during conflicts. That's the time many marriages break, because you don't know how to resolve the conflict. You use the worst of words, then later you regret what you used, but it's already out of your mouth. It's already killed the other person. So be careful what you use, what you speak. I would give you an example. Instead of telling, you didn't spend enough time with me, you can put it like this: I feel I didn't get enough time with you. So here, you're not pointing to the other person. Instead, you're pointing out your feelings. That is more safe, and then you can work on. But the message is conveyed. The spouse understands, okay, we are not getting enough time with one another. We need to give time. So this helps in building your marriage. So let me encourage you. Words are highly important in building a good marriage. Make a commitment to use words of life. Words that build up, not words that tear down. To your better half, to your one and body, use words that will build up rather than tear down, so that you will build a healthy marriage. We saw here 3 things: invest time into your marriage, invest prayer into your marriage, and invest words of life into your marriage. I pray that you will have a blessed marriage and a healthy marriage even as you do these things. I would also like to tell you that I would be doing a series on marriage and family. So if you're interested, please subscribe and you will be able to see more videos on marriage and family. God bless your family. Thank you very much.